Yeah, you start this again.
Um, so I love the scene in the bar with Mike and Liv in the premiere, where they're trying to understand each other over the loud music. What was it like? It was such a fun scene.
Yeah,
What was it
yeah.
like getting to film that and play off of each other?
As with most scenes with Liz, we have fun. I mean, we have a lot of fun working together. We get to play a lot. That scene was kind of funny because there wasn't actual music in the
Hmm.
time when you're filming it because then you wouldn't be able to record the lines properly and stuff, right? So
Hmm.
you're trying to create the sense of like yelling and not being able to hear, and you don't have the context of everything that's going to happen in post. So you're basically just sitting there, what, to one another in a quiet room, you know what I mean? But I feel like it worked pretty good. It was cool seeing the once the music and stuff was all in there and stuff.
Hmm.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And being exposed for the diarrhea, it's just, if you can make a good diarrhea joke, how do you resist? I mean, who would we be
Exactly.
to deny the diarrhea joke gods a good diarrhea joke? I mean, let's just keep it real. So that's what we did. We
Yeah.
embraced our fate. Sorry.
No.
Oh, nice Grogu back there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he's my little
I
Grogu.
liked it better when he was Baby Yoda. I gotta admit it. Grogu was just like, really? Grogu? For real, man? Y'all named this thing Grogu? You didn't want to call him like Shizzy or like, like Yogi? You know what I mean?
Yogi.
Something
I like
like
that.
that. I don't know. Grogu
Could have
just
been
didn't work.
Groda. Groda. Just
Yeah.
Groda.
Groda! What the hell? How did they miss that? Somewhere, some writer just got a chill up his spine. It was like, oh, that was weird. I don't know what that was. And they just totally missed it. Oh, Groda. Aw. Now I kind of want to go back in time. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? Like you use all the technology to go back in time to hustle into the writer's room of The Mandalorian and just like, hey, wait, what about Groda? And they're like, we're gonna go with Grogu. You're like, you know what I had to go through to get here, guys.
I had one chance of my
Forget
time machine. Um,
it.
just
Sorry, I'm burning up all of your time here making a joke about, Groda, but it was perfect. It was, I
well, I
don't
was
know, that was
thinking
really
about
well done.
because I was gonna
Yeah.
say you in all three seasons have gotten to be in a lot of ways our comedic relief, and you've gotten to have the most fun as Mike, and kind of getting to be that duo of these police officers who are trying their best, but they live in a very small town with very little crime, and so I do
Yeah.
love the comedy that you get to bring to it. For you, what has been your favorite part of season three, and still having Mike still be that comedy and still have that element to him?
Yeah, I think what Chris and I realized is if we can get to the place where Mike is saying strange stuff and people accept it because it's Mike saying it, then we've won. And
Mhm.
I feel like we've kind of gotten to that place now where some of the, and a lot of it is improvised in many cases. I don't want to say a lot of it. There's incredible stuff that's on the page, and once we get a take that has what's written in the can, we then get a little more license to try other things. And the beautiful part about working with Liz is that she's a little mini genius, and we can play badminton back and forth with improvising. And we both, if you hear us continuously trying to talk at the end of the scene, is because we both have this thing where we both want to have the last line in the scene. So if the director doesn't yell cut, we will just keep going and going and going and going and going. So I love every aspect of Mike, and I love that we've been able to go into his backstory and add some layers to him. So it's not the one trick pony of just the banter back and forth between he and Deputy Liv. That there is some heart to him, and and a lot of pain that he is carrying, and I think that influences much of how he is to people. He desperately wants to hide how broken he is. And you start to see that reflected in his dating issues as well. Um, he is a tremendously insecure individual who hides it all by pretending he's the smartest man in the room, no matter where he is, uh, even if he's the only man in the room. Which he might find himself, if he keeps treating people the way he does, But he's trying to learn. He's trying to learn.
Yeah.
So what can we expect in terms of these interactions between Mike and Liv and Joseph, especially, you have Mike and Liv who are looking into the missing alien tracker versus the new deputy who's an alien.
Yeah, that causes problems. I think he sees a lot of what he wants in Joseph, what he wants the sheriff's department to project in this small town. But I think he would be doing himself a disservice if he tried to pretend that all of these things that are happening are just coincidence. I think Mike completely buys into there's something happening. I just don't think he thinks that the government using aliens would be a great way for the government to cover up stuff the government's doing. So I think he understands there's some sort of treachery afoot here. There's something weird happening, but the connections to aliens is just so far out of his mind, that yeah. He doesn't connect those dots. He doesn't connect those dots.
Yeah, and for my last question, you get to work in a lot of these scenes now with Onver, who is playing Joseph, and there's a new element to like that dynamic, because in season 2 we didn't really get to see them interact that much, but now they are working in the same department. What was the fun for you to getting to play off of a new actor and getting to interact with this character versus how he interacts with like Harry?
Absolutely. I think he sees a lot of what he tries to emulate in Joseph and in Joseph's resume and his service, and he feels a kinship with him. In his mind, Joseph is the kind of blueprint of a winner. He's got the military training, he's fit, he's good looking. I think he even tells him, "You smell like a winner." You know what I mean? He has this impression of him. And so I think as he comes to discover that there's some aspects of Joseph that are suspect, it also kind of like shatters that myth he had created around him, and it forces him to question, like, how did I miss this guy? You know what I mean? It's heading somewhere, if I can tell you that much. I think Mike goes by that old saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, I'm an idiot. I think that's the way he looks at things. And then Deputy Liv scoops him back up, and then they get back on their way and help solve these things. But there is a collision course that I think he and Joseph, the sheriff's department and this infiltrator are on.